Welcome to Derek Andre TV. I am Derek Andre, and this is Totally Disgusted. And I got a question for you. Do you have an exit strategy, or are you waiting on retirement? Let's totally discuss it. This is Totally Disgusted with your host, Derek Andre. All right, y'all. Welcome to Totally Disgusted. I'm your host, Derek Andre, and today I want to talk about whether or not you have an exit strategy to get out of the rat race, or are you planning on staying in this sucker until retirement? What is your plan? Do you plan on staying in the rat race until you retire, or do you have an exit strategy to get up out this joint? So, this job that I have right now as a delivery driver for Amazon is the first job that I've had. I had a career as an electrician. I run my businesses. I did a video about that that you need to go back and watch, talking about why my businesses did not succeed financially, and it was not what you might think. But this is the first job that I've had in a very, very, very long time. As an electrician, before the economy went crazy back in 2008, because that's about the time I started looking for something else to do, because things were getting pretty rough. But I knew that I was going to make a decent living financially. I knew that I was going to make good money. I knew that I was going to have health care and all of that stuff, man. I knew that I had a degree of freedom. I knew the work was not going to be extremely difficult. It was mentally challenging more so than it was physically challenging, because being a union electrician, there are certain guidelines and things that we have. If there was bundles of pipe, you had to carry it, two guys on it, depending on the size of the bundle. We did things in a manner that would not destroy your body before it was time for you to retire, so that when you did finally retire, you could still have not only some decent financial quality of life, but decent physical quality of life. Okay. Had it not been for the consistent layoffs, I would probably have stayed an electrician for a much longer period of time. But my life was in some kind of weird little, whirlwind. And, I made the decision that I made to leave St. Louis and basically not being a union electrician anymore back in 2014. And I've been kind of doing my own thing with my video production company and all that stuff, my transportation service, all that stuff, until about 2018 and 2019 when I moved here and things got rough. But I was a Lyft driver. So I still had that degree of freedom to be able to come and go as I would choose, to a degree, because I still had to work really hard because I was in a very, very tough financial situation. But I didn't have a boss. It was me. It was just Derek. I would start when I wanted to start. I could stop when I was able to stop. I didn't have any constraints, so to speak. I did have some things to adhere by as a driver, just for the safety of the passengers and, this, that, and the other. But for the most part, I was still self-employed. For the most part. Okay. Well, when my car shot craps on me back in October 2014, I was out of work for almost a year. I worked briefly at Waffle House for about 2 weeks, long enough to get one paycheck, and I realized that wasn't the answer. And so I took this job at Amazon. Okay. I took this job at Amazon. And I took the job for a couple of reasons. One, I needed the money. Okay. I had to pay my bills. I was in a very bad place, being out of work for so long. So I needed to pay my bills. Two, it was close to where my wife works, so it was convenient so that I could ride to work with her in the morning and get a ride from her home in the evening. So those were the two main reasons that I took this job. The other one was kind of, the fact that I like driving, and so I enjoy driving. I enjoy being behind the wheel and, just driving around, so on and so forth. But this is the first job I've had. Not career, not profession, not business. This is the first job I've had. I've heard people complain about their jobs on numerous occasions. I heard people complain about them as passengers. I've listened to friends and family talk about their jobs and so on and so forth. But this is the first time that I've actually had a job. Not a career, not a profession, not a business, but a job. And I understand wholeheartedly what you all were talking about. These jobs, they want everything for nothing. They want to work you until there's nothing left of you and pay you as little as humanly possible to ensure that you come back the next day and the next week and the next month. It's by design. Just saw a video about it. I already knew it, but it was just a reminder. It was, I want to say it was, I forgot the guy's name, who came up with the 40-hour work week. Let me hold on. Let me look it up. Let me look it up so I can make sure that I don't say the wrong name. So let me look it up and tell you who came up with the 40-hour work week. So let me type it in. Let me see who came up with the 40-hour work week. That was Henry Ford. That's what I thought. Henry Ford came up with the 40-hour work week. It was by design. It's the perfect balance to make sure that you work just enough to not die, make just enough to not starve, and give you just enough time to feel like you got some inkling of a life. Okay? 40-hour work week. As an Amazon delivery driver, I work 4 days, 10 hours a day. That's my schedule. Okay? 4 days. I work Wednesdays through Saturdays. And when I tell you this job is 100% slavery, there is no two ways about it. There's no other way to describe what this job is. This job is slavery. It is slavery. It is slavery. So on my 3 days off, I am constantly looking for an exit strategy. When I get off work, I am constantly thinking of an exit strategy. On my lunch break, I am looking for an exit strategy. Everything that I do outside of my job is an attempt at an exit strategy. This YouTube channel is an attempt at an exit strategy. My books are potential exit strategies. Music, exit strategy. Clothing brands, exit strategies. PDFs, exit strategies. Speaking engagements, exit strategies. I am always looking for a way out of this rat race. Because truth be told, these people are crazy and you get almost zero quality of life. I have never in my life worked this hard. Never worked this hard and been paid so poorly. I'm just going to keep it 100 with you. It is 100% slavery. I don't know how anybody could even imagine trying to retire from something like this. This is not a long-term job. I saw a story on and I don't have my phone in here. I saw a story that talked about Costco and their business model versus Sam's and their business model. Okay. Costco's business model is pay your employees well, make sure that they have health insurance, make sure that their work schedule and work-life balance is there, so on and so forth, so that they will look forward to coming to work and doing their job as it should be done. Sam's business model is basically work the snot out of you, pay you as little as possible, and replace you when you get sick of that ish. They spend so much money on retraining people and this, that, and the other. It's crazy. But that's the mentality. That's why I can't understand why people don't look for exit strategies. Everybody has something that they can do that can get them out of the rat race. I'm going to tell you what told me and showed me that people, when their back is up against the wall, truly are very resourceful. COVID. When the world shut down, people couldn't go to work, so on and so forth. People got very creative and they found ways to make money. They found exit strategies. People were not trying to go back to work when the world opened up because they were tired of working 2 and 3 jobs, still not being able to pay their rent on time, still falling behind on their credit card payments and their card notes and so on and so forth. People were tired of struggling. So they found an exit strategy. It was forced upon them, but they found an exit strategy nonetheless. Why are people waiting to retire. It shouldn't have to take a pandemic of epic proportions to make you realize that you're not living, that you're being taken advantage of, and that when you do finally reach retirement, especially nowadays, there won't be much left of you. A few decades ago, things were a lot different. People were not trying to work the life out of you. Yes, you still had to work hard in many regards, but there were things in place, there were protocols in place, and unions were a lot more prevalent. You know, there's a guy I follow on TikTok. He's constantly trying to organize Amazon, and I applaud his efforts. Big shout out to Will. He be filming. That's his name on TikTok if you want to follow him. But back then there were a few more safeguards to make it so that when you did finally retire at a reasonable age, because they keep moving the goalposts, they keep pushing retirement further and further out. Back then you could retire at a reasonable age and still have some quality of life. Things were not as expensive as they are, and so on and so forth. So retirement back then made a lot more sense. If you go back to the 70s and 80s, maybe even into the 90s, retirement made more sense. But nowadays, shoot, man, retirement is borderline profanity. You should be offended if somebody say, man, you know, how many more years you got to retire? Because they keep pushing it back. What's the retirement age now? Let me see what the retirement age is. I don't even know what it is no more. What is the current retirement age? What is the current, got to spell current, right? Current retirement age. The current retirement age in the U.S. is 67 for those born in 1960 or later. 67 years old. So for me, I would have to get to 67 before I could retire with all of whatever benefits I would have. But you know that's going to change. And the way that they're working people nowadays, and the small amount of money that they're paying people nowadays, is going to make it almost impossible for people to retire. The government had already attacked all of your retirement funds, your Social Security. What you gonna retire to? If you ain't got nothing in your 401k and your pension, if that ain't already been drained, I think that's been drained too. The 401ks. What are you going to retire to? I'm seeing more and more people my age coming out to do this job that I do. And it's kind of scary. I'm seeing more and more people that are older than me that are still out here working because they cannot afford to retire. They cannot afford to stop working. So what is your exit strategy? What is it that you can do that can take you out of the rat race? You have to sit back, examine yourself, look at your life, look at your skill set, look at the things that you have access to, and say, what can I do to get out of this rat race? If you are young enough, if you are college aged, fresh out of high school, in your 30s, plan your steps. Plan your steps, man. Look into entrepreneurship. Become your own boss. Find a way to provide for yourself so that you are not stuck in this never ending hamster wheel. I am always looking for an exit strategy. I didn't think about this until later in life, which is why I'm always talking to people about, hey, you really need to, focus on this while you're young and this, that. I did not have this information early on. I did not have this mindset early on. I was doing what everybody else around me was doing. I was getting up. I was going to work. I was doing whatever I needed to do. I was showing up on time, making everybody else's dream become a reality. Didn't think nothing of it. As an electrician, I was making a decent living until I wasn't. I didn't think nothing of it, man. They gave you a lot of freedom. The motto was work what you can afford. So if you only wanted to work 4 days, you just let them know, hey, I ain't gonna be here Friday, or I'm off Monday. I'm gonna take off Monday. But they did provide you with weeks of vacation. There were some things that made being an electrician made it okay. And if I had to work for the rest of my life or until retirement, being an electrician would not have been a bad way to do it. And I will admit that. My brother is an electrician at General Motors right now. He be trying to get me to come back. Leon, I know you're going to see this video. He be trying to get me to come back. And there's that part of me that wouldn't mind, but I don't want to go back to Missouri. I don't want to go back and live in Missouri under any circumstances. So, I always had to decline the offer. But my brother, he's a couple of years older than me. He's closer to retirement, and he will at some point be able to retire, and he will retire with a very decent retirement plan coming from General Motors. But that's not the norm nowadays, man. These jobs want to pay people less and less and less and less. They're laying people off. They're closing stuff down, man. And people are doing things that they never expected that they would have to do. They're working in places that they never expected that they would have to work because there just ain't nothing out there for them. Which is why I'm asking you, are you working on an exit strategy? Or are you really going to try to tough it out until you can get to retirement? If the retirement age is 67, I'm 55. That would mean I would have to try to continue on for another 12 years. At least. Another 12 years before I can retire. Let's use Amazon for an example. Let's say I decided to try to stay there for another 12 years. I'm so sorry. The thought of that to me is hilarious. If I'm still there in 12 years, I give y'all permission to come and kick me in the seat of my pants whenever you see me, man. I pray that life does not put me in a position to where I have to work at Amazon for another 12 years. And I don't actually work directly for Amazon. I work for a DSP, a delivery service partner, delivering for them. And the company that I'm working for, the people are cool, man. I don't have no problem with none of the people that work for the company, but I just got to be honest. I didn't take this job because I was trying to build a future with this particular company or any company for that matter. I took this job so that I can make sure that while I'm trying to do other stuff, I can keep the lights on, the utilities paid, and some food in our bellies. That's the sole purpose of me taking this job. I did not take this job to try to climb the corporate ladder. I don't want to keep building nobody else's dream, man. I have built enough dreams over enough of other people's dreams over my lifetime as a working class person. I don't want to keep building people's dreams. I want to build my own. I got a t-shirt that says on it, you'll see me wear it sometimes. It says, it's a red t-shirt. It says, no thanks. I'll build my own dreams. Got a little palm tree on it, man. I don't want to keep building other people's dreams, man. There are folks out here that are literally living life. They found their exit strategy early on, and they are living life. I'm not saying that they're not working. I'm saying that they found a way to earn money, because at the end of the day, that's what you want to do. You want to earn money. Nobody wants a job. I've never met a person who was in their right mind and was like, yes, I want a job. You don't want a job. You want money. Because money is what makes the world go round. Money is what you need in order for you to be able to sustain yourself and your family in this capitalistic world that we live in. So nobody wants a job. And if they're telling you they want a job, they're lying to you. They don't want the job. They want the money. If people could find ways to get money, which they do every day, legal and illegally, to get money without having to go to a job, they're doing it. There are ways that you can escape this. You don't have to continue to be stuck in these jobs. I hear people all the time, I don't have no skills. Yeah, you do. Every single person on this planet has a skill set. Every person. Every person. And normally those skill sets get overlooked as hobbies. Your skill sets get overlooked as hobbies. Bottom line. Point blank, period. There are people that have some amazing abilities. But for whatever reason, because the educational system does not teach you how to be an entrepreneur. The educational system does not foster the concept and idea of you being a free thinker and finding a way on your own. That's why they spend so much time, effort, and energy trying to mold you into what they need you to be in order for you to go out into the world and make everybody else millionaires and billionaires and build their dreams while you struggle day in and day out to pay your bills and have just simple quality of life. And with each year that passes, it gets progressively worse. Everyone has a skill set. Everyone has abilities that they can use to provide for themselves. You just have to look at yourself, ask yourself the question, what is it that I'm good at? Think about all of the I used to watch shows on like the Discovery Channel and the Learning Channel. And these people would be the foremost expert on fungus. Fungus. They done made themselves the foremost expert on fungus. People have made professions out of being BMX, bike riders, skateboarders. There are people now that do hobby horse racing or whatever that is. Where you have seen them, where they got the hobby horse with the horse on the stick. Listen. There is an exit strategy for you. There is an exit strategy for everyone. We just have to get to the point where we begin to say, I don't want to do this anymore like this. You have to look at yourself and ask yourself the tough questions. What is it that I like doing? What is it that I am so good at that people compliment me on? You know, if it's cooking, if it's sewing, if it's writing, if it's dancing, if it's mathematics, if it's creating, building, you might be a master woodworker. You can start your own business doing these things, man. You can create your own exit strategy. Is it going to be easy? No. But if you start now, don't wait till you're in your 40s and 50s like I did. Start now and put your all into it whenever you have free time. Don't spend your free time watching Netflix or scrolling through Instagram and TikTok and all of this other stuff. YouTube, this platform right here is YouTube University. You've heard it referred to as that. Hone your skills. If it's something that you want to learn, there is a channel for it. Don't force yourself to wait until you retire to try to start living. Focus on your exit strategy right now so that you can live while you're young and not just exist. Come on, man. Look at the expression on this dude's face, right? Look at him. Look at him. He looking like, damn, man, I finally retired. Woo! I'm 78 years old. now I can finally live the life of a retired man. Woohoo! Come on, man. Don't wait until you are old and gray to actually start trying to live your life, man. There are so many people out there that have so much going on for them, man. I talk to some of the younger folks when I'm at work. I only really see people in the morning before I start my day. And, man, I talk to them, man. I'll be in their ear. You know, what else can you do? What else can you do? Because this job, if you ain't careful, this job is going to suck all of the life out of you. Most jobs are going to suck all of the life out of you. If you have a career, a profession, something that you've gone to school for and studied, you can possibly have a decent life and retire. But even those are becoming few and far in between because they're laying off and they're replacing everybody with AI and all of this other kind of stuff, man. And so even the professions of becoming more and more difficult to stay at. You know, you just, man, you just gotta look for a way to the finish line that does not require you to just work yourself to death. I don't wish that upon anyone, man. I want you to succeed in life based upon your own standards. I wish that for everyone, man. I know everyone is not built to be an entrepreneur. I know everyone does not have it in them to want to run and own their own business and, it is hard. It is so easy to just show up to what someone else has built and continue building it for them. It is easy. That's why the paycheck exists. So that you will continue to come back day in and day out, week in and week out, month in and month out, year in and year out, and continue to build somebody else's dream so that you don't have to think about it when you get off. That's why they put stuff out as distractions. That's why sports and all of that stuff exists, so that it'll take your mind out of take you out of the mindset of I could be doing something else. So are you looking for an exit strategy, or are you waiting on retirement? I hope that more people are working on the exit strategy than are actually waiting on retirement. Retirement is a long way away. It really, really is. All of your youth is slowly disappearing while you work and slave your way towards retirement. Most companies don't really care too much about you. There are a few that might give a damn, but at the end of the day, if something happens to you, they might send your family some flowers, a card or something, maybe cut them a little check. But at the end of the day, they're going to keep it moving. They're going to replace you. They're going to put another gear in the machine to replace the gear that's broken, which was you, and gone about their business. Most places you work, you are literally a number. Some places may know you by name, but that's about the size of it. Find an exit strategy. Don't punish yourself until you get to retirement. Because right now it's 67. A few years, it's going to be 70. A few years down the line from that, it's going to be 72. Then it'll be 75. And then eventually, you'll literally just work until you die. Because ultimately, that's the goal. Don't give your good years away to these companies that ultimately don't really give a damn about you. If anybody's going to give a damn about you, it is going to have to be you. That's my show for today. If you are new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you for wanting to hear what I have to say. If you like what you hear, give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel and click the reminder bell so that you never have to miss another video. Leave your comments. If you agree or disagree with what I'm saying, feel free to leave your comments. Always be respectful in the comment section. There's no reason to come into my comments and try to argue and belittle people. You know, people have their opinions, you know. Don't come in here trying to be hurtful. You know, we all adults, and hopefully we're all adults, and we should be able to have constructive conversations about, you know, the things that we are going through in life. So bring that to my comment section. No negativity. If you are a returning viewer, thank you very much. I appreciate you for coming back. You can also leave comments, give it a thumbs up if you like the video, and most definitely give it a share. All right. All right, y'all. I got exit strategies, y'all. I'm thankful. My platforms, all this stuff is monetized. I'm just trying to give the views. If I could do this, what I'm doing right now as my profession, which is what I'm working towards, I would be a very happy man. If I can talk to people and encourage people and try to keep people inspired to be the best version of themselves and to, you know, to put in the work. If I can talk to artists and entrepreneurs and musicians and stuff like that and get paid for it, that would make me the happiest man alive. This is my show. YouTube is giving me a platform to create a show. And if something happens to YouTube, then I'm just going to take my videos and put them on my website. And I'll just invite people to come to my website. But this is my exit strategy. These are the things that I'm doing for my exit strategy. And if you would like to learn more about my exit strategies, visit my website, DerekAndre.com. Yep. you could see all of my exit strategies in their full form, in bloom. All of my exit strategies are right there. That's right. Watch, listen, read, and wear. Those are my exit strategies, man. I hope that this video lands on the ears that it needs to land on, because I truly want to see more people live out their best life. I really do. I want to see more people live out their best life, man. And I don't want to see you try to struggle all the way, because I got 12 years. And if you're younger than me, that means you got even more than that. And in this ever-changing world, who knows what it will be like in 15 years, 20 years. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Work on your exit strategy. All right? All right. I love y'all, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, this is Derek Andre TV. I am Derek Andre, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And tonight at 7 on this channel, on my channel, in about an hour and a half, my third installment of Steps in the Right Direction, my PDF on step parenting or blended families or non-biological parenting will be popping up. So please make sure you check that out as well. All right. All right. That's all I got, guys. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I love you. Be peace, be love, be one. I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Thanks for tuning in to Totally Disgusted. Make sure to like, comment, and tell a friend.